tell us about the changing dynamics between the foreign hotel chains and the Indian developers.
The international operators like the Hyatts, Marriotts, Starwoods, Intercontinentals, etc. have been in India for a long time. I'd say at least 35-40 years in presence. But the last 7 years has actually seen a substantial growth in supply, and everyone basically back in 2006-07, when things were good and room rates were at a peak, developers wanted to develop hotels, and obviously every international chain wanted to rapidly grow their portfolio in India. So everyone was in a rush to sign up management contracts. The best way for them to grow was to really sign up with their existing relationships. So, every hotel chain had plans to at least add 50 to 100 hotels in India. So they went around signing as many management contracts as they could. And in that process, I mean, typically, less than half of the management contracts that were signed actually saw the light of day. And today, as a result of the contracts that were signed 3, 4, 5 years back, because in India it takes that much time to build hotels, you're seeing all those hotels actually come online today. So as far as the dynamic between the operator and the owner goes, typically the owner is the one that's investing all the monies, and the operator really is in it for the royalty fees as well as the management fees. So the investment from the operator is negligible, if at all any. So because the investments have been put in by the owners, by the developers, so there is a little bit of the investment comes from the developer, and all the management resides with the management company. So there is a little bit of I wouldn't say a power struggle, but the struggle for control.
There is a sense of maturity which is coming from the developers.
What has happened is, in India, typically anyone that's getting into the hotel business, especially if you're a new first-time hotel developer, you actually end up getting carried away and over-specifying, overbuilding for that market. So if you see, a lot of our 4-star hotels could pass off as a 5-star hotel, a 3-star hotel could pass off as a 4-star hotel, because they've actually overspec'd their hotels. And if you look at an operator, the operator always wants more, because eventually without an investment, you're adding to their brand equity. So if you're going to invest a whole lot of money and over-specify an asset, it suits the operator because it brings him in, represents him in good light. But what that does is it puts back a lot of pressure on the developer, because again, of the high interest regime in India, because of his expectations of returns and so on and so forth. So gone are the days where land was cheap. So today across India, land values are quite high. Development costs are quite high. So it's very important for the developer to understand those things and actually build the product for that brand and for that location.
What is the difference that the brand name brings?
A lot of things. So planning is a very big aspect. They plan the project. We actually spend a lot of time understanding our target market. So you understand their needs. You design the project according to what their needs are. So for example, specifications, they don't dictate it to you, because every market is different, and especially in the residential space, it's about the culture of the space. So in India, you talk about Vastu, you talk about multi-generational living, you talk about the way people live. HNI families live is very different to an HNI family living in London or in New York or wherever. So one is understanding your buyer, understanding what his needs are and where the pent-up demand is. So in our case, privacy was very big on the list, because residential projects, so-called luxury residential projects, are not offering the level of privacy that these HNIs want. So you have 200, 300, 400 flats in one development, and HNI families don't want that. They want to be in a smaller development. So in our development, for example, we've we have only 26 apartments in a largish development. It's a 1.5 acre plot that's dedicated to the residential project, and it's only got 26 apartments.